Hello everybody and welcome to my channel where this is All Things Life with Dr. K. Hey, talking about all things life with Dr. K. Hey, all things life with Dr. K. What is this channel about? This channel is simply just what I said. All things life. What is my life like as a married woman? What is it like being married to my soulmate? What is it like being a mother of adult children? What is it like being a grandmother, or as you know me as a Cammy? If you want to know what a Cammy is, check out my other channel, Dr. Kimberly Kimbrough Edwards. Okay, on that particular channel, we deal everything with mental health, me being a therapist. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Me giving you strategies and tips that you can apply to your own life when you yourself are dealing with mental health. So check out that channel as well. Also, for those that are have subscribed to my Dr. Kimberly Kimbrough Edwards channel, as well as this particular channel, All Things Life, please leave comments. I want to get to know who you are. Also, leave your email. Why? When you put your email address down, I can send you tips and strategies that you can actually print out and you can actually have at your home, at your workplace. You can go back and say, what did you talk about in that last video? Maybe you don't have time to pull the video up, but you have the little cheat notes next to you where I gave you some tips and some strategies, whether it's dealing with trauma, whether it's dealing with your relationship, your marriage, your co-workers, whatever. But drop your email in the comment section so I can start sending you guys some things. Hey, it's like this. Some people be like, I can't afford to go to therapy. It's too expensive. Whatever your reason is, you have someone right here, an expert right here, who is giving you free stuff. Utilize it. Take advantage of it. Drop your email down. I'm going to send you some stuff that's going to help you until you are ready to go and see an actual therapist or a counselor. So drop your email in the comment section or just leave a comment. Let me know, how I can help you. Let me know what's going on in your life. Let me know what you got going on. I want to know. Now that that's out the way, why am I here today? Well, I am on the road to 50. Yes, next month I will be 50 years old and I am over the moon excited. I am throwing myself a big, beautiful birthday. It's going to be called 50 Shades Blue. Why? Because my favorite color is blue. As you can see, I got my blue on today. Got my blue background. I love blue. So I'm doing a 50 Shades Blue birthday party for myself. And I'm going to transform my whole house. It's going to be nice. But anyway, what I want to do today is come on here really, really quick and answer some questions. So I picked out 6 questions that I get asked the most by people. And I'm going to go through the questions and I'm going to answer those questions. For those who know that these are your questions, okay, these are your answers, so don't ask me again. No, I'm just kidding. But here we go. Okay, so question 1 says, what's been one of the biggest challenges in life you had to face? That's a good question. I've had a lot of challenges in life, but there are quite a few that I consider to be big challenges, but one of my biggest challenges in life will have to be the loss of my son. That was the biggest challenge, losing my son. If you are a parent, a mother, a father, a partner, and you have lost, a child that you carried, that you birthed, yes, that was my biggest challenge, because I never imagined waking up and going from having 3 beautiful children to having just 2 here on earth. That's been the biggest challenge of my life. Now, I will say that what has helped me to get through that, if you have a follow-up question for that, what has helped me to get through that is literally a combination of things. My faith, my belief in God, my belief in the higher power, that there is a God that is watching over me, that is giving me strength, and I don't have that strength. my faith, reading my word, reading inspirations, reading motivations, surrounding myself with positive people. Like, that's a huge one. Being in the atmosphere of people who are able to encourage me and motivate me and say, hey, let's get out the house today, or if you want to stay in the house, I'll come over there with you and I'll just sit with you. If you want to watch a movie, if you want to just sit and do nothing, I will sit with you. I've had people do that, and that has helped me as well. Work, getting into work, getting into my career, doing the things that I love to do, the things that bring me happiness and joy, that has helped me. Keeping his memory, his name alive in a positive way, starting a nonprofit foundation to help other families who have lost loved ones, to mental health, to suicide, that has helped me as well. And building a tribe. I have what I call a tribe, which are individuals who have also experienced life with someone close to them, whether it's a child or a spouse or a loved one, a friend, whatever, who may have battled with suicidal thoughts and they lost a loved one to suicide. So that's my tribe. So I have connected with people all the way to Canada that, we share our stories and we lean on each other for support. So, but that's been my biggest challenge. Yes. Question number 2. You love your fashion. What's the connection with that? People ask me this a lot. My friends and people that know, they be like, Kim, baby, she come to the party, baby, she gonna be ready. And is. So you love your fashion. What's the connection with that? The connection with that is simply life. When I wasn't able to, no, that's a lie. Because I'm not going to sit up here and give you this cliche answer and be like, we grew up poor. And so, that may be somebody's story. And that was some of my story as well. But, we grew up and, my mama couldn't afford this and she couldn't afford that. So, now that I'm old, this is what, no, because I still have things that I want that I can't afford right now. We working on changing our language. I still have things that I desire to purchase, but it's not in my budget right now. Let me say it like that. I ain't gonna say what I can't do. That's not in my vocabulary. We working on what we say, and we working on processing the things that we say, so we can understand that what we're actually saying, we speaking life to us. So I'm not gonna say what I can't do, but I will say this: growing up, it was a challenge in my household. Growing up with a single parent, just me, my mom, my older brother, my older sister, and that was a challenge. And so, but I always was the one who always wanted to look my best when I went to school. Even if I went next door, and I did, and borrowed some of my friends' clothing. Did. Right? Like y'all ain't did that. Y'all done borrowed some of your homegirls or homeboys. Say, man, hey, let me borrow them when I to school tomorrow. That was me. My husband now. I can remember even borrowing some of his jerseys, some of his shirts and things when I was in high school, because I wanted to look a certain way. So yeah, but I've always had this thing with fashion, and understand fashion for me is not all about the glitz, the glam, and all of that. I love those things as well, but fashion for me is just looking good, just being able to buy clothing or buy things that I believe that I look good in, that feels good on my skin, that makes me feel good. Because sometimes, you leave out the house and you look in a mess, your attitude begins to reflect that. But walk out the house with your best on. Yeah, baby, can't nobody tell you nothing. That's me. When I have on, clothing that I was able to purchase and that I like, that I love, that I believe looks good on me, I feel good as a person. Emotionally, it helps me. So that's my connection with fashion. I look good, I feel good. Next question. You hold a doctorate degree. What prompted you to go back? Y'all gonna stop with this. What prompted you to go back for a second master's? Yes, I do hold a doctorate degree in educational leadership. Hence, I am in the field of counseling therapist. When I got my doctoral degree, I didn't even think about becoming a therapist. I didn't. At the time, I was a teacher and I was teaching in the classroom. And so during that time, my mind could only go as far as, oh, I'll be a principal. And nothing, listen, we need good principals. But my mind was like, oh, I'll be a principal, or maybe even, a superintendent one day. And but as time went by, I realized that I spent most of my time in the classroom, like literally giving advice to my students, listening to my students' story, being there for them, motivating them, giving them tips and strategies. Even my classroom was the one where when kids were skipping from other teachers' class, I was the classroom that they would come in and be like, hey, Dr. E, can I come sit in your class that I got kicked out? And I'd be like, yeah, find your chair in the back. I was that one. Teachers who felt like they needed, a place where they could let out their emotions and their frustrations and stuff. They would literally come and sit in my classroom, and we would talk, and I would listen, and they would feel good when they left. That was me. So I didn't really make the connection then, but it was when I finally decided, like, okay, I have been doing this thing for a long time, and I'm sick and tired of principals telling me, oh, you're doing a great job in the classroom. You have such good discipline, classroom management, all those things. But when it came time to put me in the position of, let's say, an assistant principal, I felt like I was always just looked over. And they would always tell me, we really need good teachers in the classroom. So it really was more about, you want somebody in the classroom that can handle these kids. But what about my growth? What about my elevation? What I can do more outside of the classroom. But anyway, that's for another day. My point is, it wasn't until I was like, you know what? What do you want to do? What do you find joy in doing? And I prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it. And when the Lord gave me that green light and said, go ahead on and fly your wings, go ahead and get out this boat, Peter, I did. Now, did I sink a little bit? I did. I was up under that water, but my hand was still up. And Jesus just pulled me on through and said, come on, because you're ready now. And I am. And so when I made that decision to take charge and ownership of the life that I want, that I see myself living, yes, for me, it caused me, right? It was like, hey, you can't just be a therapist and not be a licensed therapist. And yes, you hold a doctorate degree, and the degree that I hold does connect to counseling. It does connect to therapists. However, state law says that you have to complete so many hours. You have to have so many supervision hours in order, and you have to go and take and pass the state board counseling exam in order to be a licensed therapist. So with that in mind, there was no shortcut. So I had to literally go and enroll in school to get those hours and to be able to prepare myself to take the state board exam. And so that was a big challenge for me. It was because, and I cried, I screamed. I was like, why didn't I just get, a doctorate in mental health or a doctorate in psychology? I was like, you know what? We can sit here for days and talk about what we shoulda, coulda, woulda. And time is not going to stand still for you. It's not. It's so, what you going to do? You have that hard talk with yourself. What you going to do? At the end of the day, yes, I know you shoulda, coulda, woulda. But at the end of the day, what you going to do? Get up off your tail, enroll in school, and let's get it going. And that's exactly what I did. So, to answer your question, what prompted me was the life that I saw myself living, the life that I wanted to live, the love and the desire and the passion that I have for counseling individuals and counseling families and counseling married people and counseling couples, and listening to stories. I love listening to people's stories. I do. And I love being able to offer some expertise because, again, my life is, baby, listen, I done pretty much done it all, seen it all, experienced it all. So, yeah. Next question. You've been married and divorced 3 times. How do you know this husband is the one? That's a good question. Y'all like married and divorced 3 times. That they said what they said. You got a problem with it? Okay. Seriously. Yes. I have gone through 3 marriages prior to getting to this husband. Now, let's roll it back. The husband that I am married to now is someone that I've known since I was a child. He was 11. Nope, he was 10. I was 11. So I met him many years ago at church. I saw him. Yeah, I was a little fast, little something. Y'all was fast too. Don't think about it. Some of y'all little boys, y'all was managed. So let's just be real. But I saw him and I thought, oh, he cute. He cute. And so I approached him. I was like, hey, what's your name? And he told me his name. Now, he said I was a little aggressive, but I wasn't. But y'all gonna meet him in some other videos. He said I was a little aggressive, but I wasn't. I want to know who he was, what his name was. And so from there, me and him met and things like that. I had a little crush on him, and I ended up later meeting his sisters. Then I later met his mom, and then his mom had me become a sitter to watch his sisters. And all during that time, I'm just crushing on him and things like that. But long story short, many years later, we dated when I was in high school. But when I kind of began to transition, we kind of went our own little ways, and you know how things go. And I went through life, and I went through life, my God. And I got married very, very young. I was 19 when I met my children's father. And when I got married to him, I was just barely turning 22. And during that time, I was pregnant with my second child, who is the one that's no longer here. But I was pregnant with him. I was 6 months pregnant when I walked down the aisle with my children's father. And we married, and I stayed with him for 11 years, believe it or not. 11 years. We were married for like 9.5. And that's for another day. We can talk about all those things. But I transitioned from there really quickly and went right into another relationship really quickly. And I really processing the trauma that I had gone through in the last marriage. And then from that second marriage that didn't even last. I don't know if we can call that a marriage. Now, it didn't even last a few months. Literally, we were already just like, this ain't going to work. Within a few months, he had walked out on me and the kids, went to go have his own, do his own thing, whatever the case is. And so ran from that and didn't really take a lot of time to process that hurt and that trauma, and hopped into another marriage. It was some years later, but still, you got to really process some stuff. But that's why you got to go back to my other channel, because we talk a lot about trauma and what it means to process that trauma. But I hadn't processed my trauma from the first two marriages and jumped into the third marriage, and I just continued to get hurt. And after that marriage, I went away for a little while, went to my dad, who lives in Atlanta, Fayetteville, Georgia, as a matter of fact, but a little bit outside of Atlanta. But I went to stay with him for a little while, and it was during that time that I realized that, girl, you can't stay on this path. You can't stay on this road. Like, what you gonna do? You enjoy being married. Yes. You enjoy being loved, feeling love. You enjoy expressing and giving love to another individual. You in love the intimacy of the relationship, the conversations. You in love having somebody to go home to every day. All that's wonderful. But on the inside, are you happy? Are you at peace? Do you know what love is, what love feels like, what it looks like? Or are you just going based on what you see on social media, what you see on TV, what you see in the movies? You need to understand what love actually looks like, because what you have experienced over these past few years, none of that is love. That's not love at all. That's an idea of love. That's an idea of marriage. So I had these conversations with myself. And I looked at each individual that I was married to, and I saw all these similarities. I'm like, wait a minute. He emotionally abused me and said these things, and he emotionally abused me and said some things, and he did as well. It was like that. It's like they all had these same connections. They all had these same mindset of this woman, image that they had in their mind of, you're not going to go out here and get no education and outshine me. No, you're going to sit at home and take care of the house and take care of the kids, and you're going to look good on my arm. Yeah. One of them actually called me a trophy wife. I was like, literally, you my trophy wife. So I'm just supposed to sit up here and just look cute and just be quiet, be me. Yeah, I was married to 3 guys who all felt that way. None of them supported my goals. None of them really supported my aspirations. And I said that in the sense of, it was like they didn't stop me from like going to school and obtaining the degrees and obtaining the education that I wanted to obtain, but they didn't fully support it either. It was always something negative. It's always like, you could be doing this and you could be doing that. When I married my children's father, my goal, dream was to actually go into just being a full-time author. I wanted to just write books. I love that. I wanted to do those things. But he was like, no, you need to be a teacher. But again, all this can be for another day. But my point is this: I had that conversation with myself, and I realized that I was choosing different guys, but they all had the same mindset. They all had the same thinking pattern. They all treated me pretty much the same, which was emotional abuse, not saying nice things to me. One of them even tried to get physical. Now that didn't last long at all, because if you know me, swing if you want to. We're gonna swing right on back. Yeah, I mean, I've grown since then. I keep my hands to myself because I don't promote violence. We don't promote violence. But yeah, I went through some emotional trauma in these relationships, and so I had to talk with myself, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I desire something different. And for me to have something different, I got to do something different, something that I've never done before. And that was close out all the thoughts in my head of people, saying, girl, you getting married again? It can be your family, it can be your friend. They all got their little jokes, and it's all love. But deep down, it did bother me. Like, okay, y'all, Kim done married somebody else. She on her second marriage. She on her third marriage. It got to that point to where I said, you know what? I got to block all that out. If the Lord allowed me to meet someone else and I decide to marry that person, I can't let the naysayers or the comments or the jokes hold me back from getting to where I want to get to in experiencing the love that I know I deserve. And I know that I can give out as well. And so I had that talk with myself. And when I came back home to my then husband, I said, look, listen, I'm out. We've been on this road for a minute. I've been giving you warnings. I've been talking to you about how you talk to me, and I've been telling you, let's try to fix it, and it's not getting any better. And I have to take care of my mental health, because I can't stand something like this that's causing me not only not to be happy, but it's affecting me emotionally. Like I'm depressed. I'm down. I can't be effective with my kids. They know my kids deserve to have a mom who's all in with them. I can't, I need to go on my job and be able to effectively do the things that I know I can do. I need to be able to see what my life looks like on the other side of this. And I want you to take this journey with me. I want to be a part of your life, but it seems like So let's not continue to waste each other's time. And it was actually during that time that I had 2 back-to-back dreams about my now husband. And then in the first dream, he told me that he have always loved me and that he still loved me. And in the second dream, he actually proposed to me. And I woke up and I'm like, God, what is I haven't seen him since my son's funeral. I haven't talked to him. We have the same number. I'm like, this is crazy. But I stepped out, I reached out, and yeah, it just kind of was just like, oh my God, what I dreamed of actually came to pass. And it's been beautiful. It's been different. Like, I can be 1000% me. I don't have to put on a mask. I can be silly. I can be emotional. I can be crazy. I can be outraged. I can be me. And he loves all of it. He doesn't take my past, my trauma, and use it for his benefit. He lets me go out and be who I need to be for us. And he ain't jealous, and he not intimidated. Ooh, that's a lot. Because each one that I was with prior to him was intimidated. And I'm being honest. He don't hold me back. because he know, baby, wherever you going, baby, I know we going together. He know this, and he allows me to shine. He allows me to shine. He don't mind standing beside me and just allowing me to have my moment. He's not intimidated by that. He supports my going to school. It's a time where I wasn't doing anything but going to school, and I wasn't even working. And he treated me just like I was somebody going to work every day. I'm so proud of you. I love your grind. I love your hustle. Every day, when I wake up every day, he tells me he loves me. He doesn't leave the house without telling me he loves me. I don't have to ask. I don't have to remind him of things that I like. He just knows. I can be thinking something, and then before I said, he said, and I'm like, get out of my head, or vice versa. We've said that so many times, at least once a week. We like, get out of my head. Yeah, it's another day. But that's how I know. Oh, and when we got married, my last 3, I did the nice wedding, the whole 9 yards. But me and him got married. We got married right in our living room. Right in our living room. We got married right there. And it was just me, him, the pastor, her husband, one of my friends, and one of his friends. That was it. Now, mind you, it was during COVID. But even then, it wasn't no thought of, we need to call everybody in the family this. It was a moment that was just about me and him. Literally. Just about. It was the most beautiful, most intimate moment when we exchanged vows. But that's how I know. Now, we will be renewing our vows this year. Our anniversary is New Year's Eve, December 31st, and so we're looking forward to that, and I will be posting some content and videos about that as well. But yeah, that's how I know. Next question says, why did you make the choice to lose weight? I made the choice to lose weight because of my health. Those that know. I have been out places throughout the years where literally I would be in pain because my ankles, my body would be filled with so much fluid. And for years, doctors could not figure out where the fluid was coming from. I would have all types of EKGs and have to go through getting my heart checked. Fluid can travel up, and that's a very dangerous thing. But my body was just retaining a lot of fluid. So my face will be swollen. You can look at some of my old pictures. My face is swollen. But a lot of it was carried in my legs. So my ankles would be swollen. I would have to go get my legs wrapped up and massaged, and I have to walk around looking like a little mummy, literally, with this wrapping on my legs to kind of help drain some of that fluid. I've had to be on machines where it would drain the fluid out of my body, but it was affecting me a lot, and we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Like I would change my diet. Like I would literally go with just eating things where there was no meat, or I would literally try things where, let me try to be vegan, or let me try to just do high protein, let me try to keto over here, let me try to Daniel fast over here, let me try, I've tried things like, what they call it, when you eat the intermittent fasting. I tried that, with exercise, because I enjoy exercise because it relieves tension for me. It's therapeutic for me. But even with exercising and stuff, like for years, like the weight wasn't falling off. They even had me on medication that they would try to see if that could help with the weight, and it did not. And every time I go to the doctor, they were saying the same thing, like, we got to get this weight off of you. We got to get this weight off of you. To the point to where one doctor was like, if we don't, like, you're not going to live long. Like, it was literally, you're not going to live long. When I heard that, I was just like, I was depressed. I'm not going to say I hated looking at myself, maybe, because I was still, putting my clothes on, because, clothing can hide a lot. I was still putting my clothing on. I was still going out and doing my thing. But when I came home some days, I felt disgusted. I felt unhappy looking in the mirror. I felt frustrated when I went shopping and tried to put on certain clothing and it didn't look right, or I couldn't fit it. I had to go up 2 sizes like I did. But going back to that last question, the man I'm with now, Loved all of it. Never, ever, ever did he make me feel disgusted or make me feel like I wasn't the most beautiful person on the planet. Loved all of it. But I didn't. That's key. I didn't. And so I finally met a doctor who was all in. And we went through even me having surgery on the veins in my legs to try to close out some of the bad veins to see if that would help. And it did not. It helped a little bit. I'm not going to say it didn't help a lot, but it helped a little bit. But the weight still wasn't coming off. I did a nutritionist that she had connected me with. I tried the things that she told me to try. And like I said, this was over a period of time, starting all the way back, probably from 2000, I would say 12, maybe around 2013. And it wasn't until 2000, I want to say end of 2023, when I met this particular doctor. And she was like, we got to get the weight off, but we gonna figure it out. And after I had the veins closed off, the surgeon that did the veins was like, talk to your doctor about Mounjaro. And I was like, Mounjaro? Like, what is Mounjaro? And started doing my own little research, looking up and everything like that. And I mentioned it to the doctor, and she was like, we can definitely try that. And she wasn't opposed to it. And so we tried a few rounds of the Mounjaro, and the first few months, I think I lost like 4 pounds a month. And of course, she had a goal weight that she wanted me to get to. And she was like, okay, 4 pounds a month, you're just losing like 1 pound a week. Like, okay, like we gotta figure this out, because, you need to be a little higher in the numbers. Because some people was probably losing like 10 pounds a month. Some even 20 pounds a month. Now, y'all gonna say, that's a lot of weight. Again, everybody's body is different. You can't judge people's weight. Somebody can be 180 pounds and looking slim and trim, and they can be tall. So weight and your pounds, your weight, your size, all those things, you just, everybody's body is different. I'm just going to say that. So what was working for other people, they can exercise and weight was coming off. It wasn't for me. They could intermittent fast and it come off. It didn't work for me. The Mounjaro worked for me. I stuck with it, y'all. I stuck with it. And I'm glad to say that I started the Mounjaro, I want to say in July of 2023. I did it for a couple of months, and then I got a little down. I'm just like, it's not coming off, so I stopped. And then I was like, okay, if you're going to do this, you got to stick with it. So I kept hearing different stories, and they were good stories. So I started back up on a few months later. And so over, I would say at least a year, I have lost almost 50 pounds. Almost 50 pounds. That was with me starting at a low dose. And then the highest I've been on is the 10 milligrams for the Mounjaro. That's the highest dose I've been on. But I stuck with it, and I have lost, I'm probably just a few pounds away from 50 pounds. So I'm looking forward to being 50 pounds less for my 50th birthday. And I would say, I feel good. Again, do what works for you. This has worked for me. I love now, even more so now, looking at myself in the mirror and walking around. I ain't gonna say how, but yeah, walking around the house and just feeling confident, feeling good about myself. And I do. And it has it has boosted my self-confidence. It has also increased my awareness about the importance of taking care of myself. And so for me to maintain this weight, I continue to exercise. My blueberries right here. And I want something sweet. I exchange those sweets for some sweet fruit. Every now and then I may have me a cookie. A cookie, not some cookies, a cookie or whatever. But yeah, another channel, another day. Last question. What do you expect to gain from posting content on your channels? Oh, somebody asked me this the other day. Girl, I see you've been posting. I'm so proud of you. Thank y'all so much for the encouragement of me doing this. This is not easy. Well, we're watching our words, Kimberly. This is fun and exciting. It can be a challenge, but I am loving it. See how I just changed what I just said? But What do I expect to gain? I expect to gain knowledge. I expect to gain connections from meeting people. I expect to gain influence to continue to do this. I expect to gain relationships, being able to talk to you guys and being able to read your comments and being able to make connections. Maybe you're working on something, I can come and support you as well. So I expect to just grow. I expect to grow not only in my content, because again, this is a new platform for me, but I expect to grow in my content. I expect to grow as a person. I expect to grow in relationships, and I'm just looking to gain new insight. I'm to gain new wisdom, new knowledge from the research that I do before I come on here and decide, what I'm going to talk to you guys about on today. But I expect to gain just peace, because I'm actually enjoying this. I am enjoying this. So I expect to gain just overall experience, if that makes sense, because I'm not going to stop doing this anytime soon. I like this. I like this. And I believe I'm helping some people. So, yeah. So that's that. I hope this has helped you guys in some shape, form, or fashion. Again, leave comments. Share your stories with me. Drop your email so that I can send you guys some of my tips, some of my worksheets, some of my handouts that I'll share with my other clients. And maybe, again, this freebie, y'all. Come on. But leave your name, leave something so that I can begin to build relationships, and I can help you. You can help me. We can grow together, because that's what it's all about. Again, I am Dr. Kimberly Kimbrough Edwards, and this is All Things Life with Dr. K. Hey, I'm talking about all things life with Dr. K. Okay, let me stop. Thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your schedule to listen in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you can stay up to date with new videos. I promise it will be worth it as we discuss marriage, relationships, intimacy, traveling, cooking up good meals, living with adult children, grandkids, and all in between. Finally, check out my other channel, Dr. Kimberly Kimbrough Edwards, bringing you clarity, where we discuss all things counseling and therapy, where I offer resources, tools, and strategies as a mental health therapist. There's so much to talk about. I promise you it will all be worth it. Please do not forget to leave your email so that I can send you guys some goodies. And when you watch these videos, please drop comments. I would love to get to know who my audience is. I would love to learn more about you, your families, your likes, your dislikes. Hey, we're on this journey together. So let's enjoy the ride. Until next time, I'll see you then.